This is Just the Job. G'day and welcome to Just the Job. It's great to be here this week and to be able to bring you 3 more really exciting careers. Plus, as always, we have a whole lot of helpful tips and advice that will definitely make that important career choice a whole lot easier. In today's show, 17-year-old Kelsey Clarke thinks she might have a future in seafood. So she's off to Sealords in Nelson to find out about the food processing industry. 17-year-old Peck finds out what goes into the making of everything from circus tents to marquee linings when he checks out a career in canvas fabrication. And Sam Wright of Christchurch likes the idea of a job that has plenty of variety. Could a career in civil engineering be just the job for him? But first up, let's catch up with Kelsey and see how she fares on the production line where fish fingers seem to be the order of the day.
Hi, I'm Kelsey and I'm 16 and I've done a lot of fishing in my life and I'm interested in the fishing industry.
Well, we've got just the experience for you, Kelsey. Sealords make a range of food from fish fillets that are shipped overseas to value-added frozen products we all know and love. Food technologist Fritz Hoffman will be showing you all the jobs involved in getting the fish to your plate.
Welcome to Sealords.
Thank you.
So would you like to come and have a look around at our fishing plant and see what we're up to and what products we are making?
Yeah, that'd be good.
People who are successful in the food processing industry are people who are enthusiastic about food, know a bit about food, are keen to provide people with healthy food.
Okay, Kelsey, here's a fishing boat. This is where it all starts. Fish is being brought into the factory through the fishing boat. This boat has been out for 3 months, catching fish, and now it's being processed through the factory into the products we're going to look at.
We all hate finding hair in our food, so hygiene is top of the list when you are processing fish for Sealords. Hair nets and protective clothing are worn at all times. Boots go through an antiseptic wash and hands are cleaned every time you enter the factory.
It's thawed out and then it comes through here and it's been cleaned up.
The first stop is the wet fish factory where hoki come off the boat semi-processed and ready to be filleted. The Trio skinning machine gets rid of the scales. Blemishes are cut out and the fillets are sliced into prime cuts. The remaining muscle lines and other leftovers are pulped and frozen into blocks. Now Kelsey gets a chance to fillet her own fish.
Hi Kelsey, my name's Mike. I'm here to teach you how to fillet fish. The main safety things are having a sharp knife and a safety glove so you don't cut your fingers.
A good filleter is somebody who can quickly remove the fillets from the bone, producing a safe product with a good yield. Those people are worth a lot to the company, and we really value these people.
Fish. Just keep flipping over like that. And you start back at the top and just follow it down like that, just over the rib cage. Okay, now I'm going to let you have your turn. Do you feel comfortable with that?
Yep.
Good.
Now it's Kelsey's turn to show what she can do with a blade.
You turn it over so you got the back towards you. Yep. Feel the bone and just push, slide it down that way.
Kelsey is slicing blind, using the feel of the knife against the bone to get the job done.
So what's the trick to doing this?
See the fin bones there? Yeah, that's where you got to try and aim. Just go along the top of those. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Cool. Cool. Now just lift the fillet off. Yep. Now this is the end fillet. You've done really well. It's awesome really for your first attempt.
Her fillets might not make prime cuts, but they could make the next batch of fish fingers. The hoki fillet piece blocks are frozen solid now and ready to be sliced into everyone's favourite fish snack. The blocks are sawn into planks, then fingers. They travel down the conveyor belt in order to be covered in batter and breadcrumbs before being cooked in oil for 20 seconds. The fingers are packed and shipped out across the country, but there is still more work to do. Kelsey grabs some raw fish fingers to help Fritz develop a new product for Sealords.
Okay, here we are in the R&D kitchen and we're going to have a look at some coating systems, Kelsey. Here's a dry batter made from sweet potato flour, and we can put some water with that and make a batter mix.
It's a kumara batter and Fritz is convinced it will work best with a kumara crumb. But maybe Italian, tomato and onion or vegetable will do a better job. Which will Kelsey choose?
I think you should choose one of these crumbs and have a look and see what you think.
Vegetable crumb.
Would you like to go for the vegetable crumb? All right, what about this one? You'll find this one quite different.
That one's really sweet.
It's quite different from the fish fingers you've seen made in the factory, isn't it?
Yeah.
But what we're trying to do is get something a little bit more maybe upmarket, a bit different.
A food technologist has to develop interesting flavours and new products, but each idea must also work on the factory floor, so Kelsey has to mimic the factory's process as closely as possible.
A bit of a tap, like in a fish and chip shop. You see them doing that when they do fish and chips. That's it.
The deep frying reveals two quite different fish fingers, the golden chunky kumara and the refined vegetable, but which will taste better? Kelsey will have to freeze them overnight before finding out. The food technologist also develops the recommended cooking instructions, in this case 4 minutes aside at 200 degrees Celsius. Fritz is pretty confident about his kumara coating, so can Kelsey's veggie finger take first prize?
Okay. So now we can have a taste and see which one we think is the best one.
Yep.
All right.
It's important for Sealords to develop new products to keep customers loyal to their brand, and getting it right can take up to a year.
Okay, you've got the results there. So what do you think?
I think that the kumara one is really sweet,
Okay.
and I like the vegetable one
Why do you like the vegetable one?
because it tastes like it should be on fish, like it goes with the fish.
Oh, that's great. That will give us a start for maybe some new products, and we'll get lots more people to have a look at it one day, and you never know. It might end up in the shop one day. Huh?
New Zealand companies process a range of species from fresh and seawater fish to crustaceans and shellfish. Processing occurs on board trawlers as well as land. Seafood processing factories also deal with smoking or canning product. The processing sector holds a wide range of career opportunities, from filleter and trimmer to quality assurance manager and factory manager. Well done, Kelsey. It was great to be able to see that there are so many opportunities within the food technology industry. After the break, we'll see how Chris gets on when he visits the country's largest canvas fabrication company located in Mount Maunganui. This is Just the Job. Welcome back to Just the Job, where we look at a whole range of careers to help you discover what could be out there waiting for you. Now, if you enjoy a technical challenge, then this next career is definitely that. Let's join Chris as he finds out what goes into designing and creating the likes of a circus tent.
I'm Chris Peck and I'm 17 years old and I live in Tauranga and go to Otumoetai College. I'm interested in graphics and technology and had the opportunity to look at Baytex where they do canvas fabrication.
Headquartered at Mount Maunganui, Baytex is New Zealand's largest canvas fabrication company. In their purpose-built 2,500 square metre factory, they make commercial canopies, marquees and some very large and highly specialised tents.
Hi Chris, welcome to Baytex.
Thank you.
To become an apprentice at Baytex, we need to find staff who are practical, very good with their hands, attention to detail, but they must have math skills and good English skills, because in the future they're going to be able to read plans, they have to measure things, and they will learn to sew and use our high-frequency welders.
So what type of things do you make in here?
We make marquees for the higher industry mostly, very large tents, circus tents, architectural canopies.
Baytex can handle more than just tents. On the factory floor, workers are in the process of manufacturing large bladders destined for Fiji. They will be used for the storage and transport of molasses.
So what type of machine is that over there?
Well, over here is a high-frequency welder, but we've also got sewing machines, very big sewing machines on the floor as well. So we have staff, guys and girls, and they've got to be able to sew.
Oh, nice.
The factory can handle all sorts of fabrics, from the heaviest PVCs and canvases to the lightest of polyesters, and the product range is wide. There's marquees, large and small, performance tents like the Buzzy Bee, and some very special commissions, like these made for the movie The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. The tents were made with silk, backed with canvas and screen printed with gold, and each was uniquely designed in-house.
Hi Chris, we're now coming into our design team, and this is Andrew, and he's our design manager.
Hi Chris, how are you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks.
I'm currently working on a project for a client that has a circus which tours around the country.
Designing a tent like this calls for creativity along with technical knowledge. It's for producing a digital 3D model.
Basically, at the click of a button, we can convert that 3D membrane into flattened panels.
The curvy, complex shape is formed by welding together several hundred differently shaped panels.
and we go through a process of converting all of these into images which our plotter, digital plotter downstairs can actually read.
And this is the digital plotter. Chris is going to follow through the fabrication of the Fate marquee, one of Batex's most popular small marquees.
This is a computer that drives the plotter. As you would have seen upstairs, Chris, that's the set of panels there for the job we're currently working on, and we'll go up to the play button there and push play. Off it goes.
This state-of-the-art multi-head plotter cutter makes short work of both cutting the PVC panels and marking them up.
So what are all the little marks that the pen's putting on the fabric now?
They're called strike-ups, and what they do is they align the panels. You're putting the two panels together. Those two little marks should come together on each edge so that through the length you don't get a panel that's out of alignment.
The strike-up marks will be a guide for the next process, welding the panels together.
Important part here is to keep the fabric flat. So if you want to grab the other end of that, Chris, we'll line it up to our lines that have been put on there from the plotter.
Powerful microwaves are beamed through bars and into the fabric to weld it.
The apprentice is pretty much thrown into production from the word go. They're involved in the manufacturing processes from day one, and that has fused our PVC together.
Oh wow.
At Batex, we have high production runs. They'll have to be very specialised on a high-frequency welder. Very, very good sewing skills. They'll have to be able to read plans, and eventually they'll actually go out into the engineering department as well and learn to do our framing. We make things, say, for the Pacific, where a typhoon could come through, so everything's got to be perfect. They can't break.
So the last checking process we're doing here is just making sure that the quality of the marquee is up to standard.
Every last stitch and weld of a product is inspected. The top checklist is ticked off and the marquee's ready for dispatch.
And all we need to do now, Chris, is clean the marquee and fold it up.
We make a point of actually putting all our products up out the back in our grassy area out the back, so our staff can actually see the product, they can actually have a hand in putting it up.
I think it's magnificent how it went up so quickly and easily. I didn't think it went that fast, and it's not very hard to put it up, and no, it looks great.
Chris has been brilliant. We've loved having him at Batex. He's caught on to things very quickly, and we'd love to give him a job.
There's a Level 3 National Certificate in Industrial Textile Fabrication. This qualification recognises the skills required by the industrial textile industry. The industry includes the making of marquees, tents, awnings, shade sails, and even bouncy castles. You need to have a good understanding of maths, geometry, a good eye for detail, be creative, and have the ability to work well with your hands. The average apprenticeship takes 3 years of study, but how long it takes is down to you. Career prospects are positive, and the skills you learn can be adapted to any of the industry specialisations. Well, after watching Chris, you might be thinking, Clint, that's me, that's what I want to do. And if it is, then you can check out more information about that career and all the careers featured on the shows on our website. So stick around, don't go anywhere. I'll have all those details for you at the end of the program. After the break, we catch up with Sam as he checks out a career in civil construction. This is Just the Job. You're watching Just the Job, and if you're thinking about a career, or maybe you want to change from the career you're in, then stay tuned, because this show could spark a turning point when it comes to your work life. Sam's up next, and he's in Christchurch to see whether a career in civil engineering could be something he could see himself doing in years to come.
Hi, I'm Sam. I'm 16 and I go to St Thomas's in Christchurch. I've done a little bit of part-time work in construction, and I'd like to know a little bit more about the civil engineering trade.
You must be Sam.
Yeah, Sam.
I'm Jared. Nice to meet you.
Good.
Welcome to Isaac Construction.
Thank
You'll
you.
need that.
Thank you.
We'll go for a drive.
Sam's come to Isaac Construction, a company based somewhat unusually at Peacock Springs, a large conservation park near Christchurch. Showing Sam around is Isaac Construction's Gerald Killick. For over 50 years, the company have helped build and maintain South Island's infrastructure, roads, runways, subdivisions and the like. And Sam will be heading out to several sites today.
The construction site is a small portion of the land owned by the Isaac Wildlife Trust. Hundreds and hundreds of acres, Most of the quarried land is being rehabilitated. There's wildlife areas, there's wetland areas, there'll be native forest areas planted.
Isaac Construction started out as a quarrying company, and the business now provides the funding for the conservation park. Peacock Springs is one of the best examples of quarry rehabilitation in the world.
Well, this is the operational quarry area over here on the right, Sam. We're producing base course materials, and in time this will all be rehabilitated to a similar state to what we saw earlier.
Whatever the job, be it building lakes or roads, all jobs have to be costed and planned.
What we've got here, Sam, is a local authority designed city street upgrade.
Okay.
This job I would estimate to be between $4 and $5 million. We've got 45 pages of items to price in a couple of weeks' time.
There's a lot of detail in the plan, like all the pipe underlays and stuff like that, where everything is, and they haven't even got the job yet. They're just looking at it.
Estimating costs is an important part of the job. The market for all work like this is competitive, so the estimates need to be accurate and tight.
During the tendering of a job, we might have to work out quantities, where we're going to get the materials from. Can we use big diggers, small diggers? How many people do we need to have that site hit its target completion date? So there's a lot of things to think about right before you submit your price.
At Peacock Springs, plans are underway for a new concrete plant to be built.
Only a matter of about 10 weeks ago, the site was looking very similar to this paddock, with sheep running around grazing. So it takes shape pretty quickly.
Pegs mark the position of each end of the planned building. The first job today is checking the distance from corner to corner.
This machine is a theodolite, which measures vertical and horizontal angles.
It also measures distances, and a reflector is used to bounce back the reading.
Line the hairs up with Jared's target.
Yeah, got that. Can you move to number 4, please?
Roger. Being a civil engineer, I think you've got to be pretty keen, have an emphasis on trying to build physical things, work out why you're building it and what the end product has to do.
With the corners confirmed, the final floor height has to be checked out too. A laser automatic level is used.
This is the sensor, Sam.
Yeah.
We'll turn this on, pick up the beam from the laser, and it tells you what level you need to be.
Working in a role like this, there are time constraints, not only for the physical work, but getting tenders in on time. At times there's some fairly long hours. There's people to deal with, both clients, consultants, and your fellow workmates. The communication side of things is critical. Everybody needs to know what they're trying to do. Everybody needs to know the goals and the time frame in which we need to achieve these.
This floor will be perfectly level, but that's not what's required with a road. Roads have to be tilted to help cornering on bends. Water also has to drain, and here the surveying principles are much the same.
Over here, Sam, we've got the pegs in the side of the road.
Yeah.
The civil engineer will have designed the depth of the pavement to go on the surface here.
Yeah.
The orientation and alignment of all the side pegs. What we're looking to do is match the pavement surface from red tape to red tape on the other side.
Okay, yeah.
And that gives us our 3% crossfall from the centre line to the far side.
Yeah.
The peg on the far side's got the blue tape at the top of it.
Yeah.
And that sights back into the blue tape on this side.
Okay.
So you end up with a bit of a crisscross.
Yeah.
And the middle point, of course, being the centre line or crown of the road.
Over the next decade, there will be at least $20 billion worth of additional infrastructure projects in New Zealand, which will bring many opportunities for civil engineers. Back at the new concrete plant build, the drains are going in.
What we've got here, Sam, is a stormwater system that's been designed.
Yeah.
The things that have been considered with the stormwater system are the catchment area, so that determines the volume of water going to go down the system.
Yeah.
Also, we've got to look at what contaminants might get in there, whether there's going to be oil dropped off trucks, fine dust particles, and that will determine whether there's an oil separation unit put in as well. The rewards doing a job like this are great. A lot of fun physically having something to look at the end of the day, and especially in 10 years' time when you can drive past with the family and say, I helped design that or build it.
That's good, Dan.
Good solid salary, and normally a vehicle to drive around in, and good fun.
So as Sam had a day of fun,
I enjoyed the tour around the Isaacs construction because it showed me lots of things about civil engineering that I didn't already know. Just how long it takes to price everything and where everything goes.
there's a new qualification, the National Diploma in Civil Engineering, which provides a hands-on practical component to the Polytech theory-based New Zealand Diploma in Engineering. The new qualification focuses solely on civil engineering and is tailored to a relevant aspect of the work, consulting, contracting or local government. Graduates can gain registration as a certified engineering technician and can expect to work on exciting projects throughout New Zealand. Great job, Sam. Thanks so much for being a part of today's show. And of course, how could I forget Chris and Kelsey? You guys were both great too, so thanks heaps, guys. Today there are thousands of careers to choose from, and trying to pick one can carry a lot of pressure. So we certainly hope our programs have helped take the stress away and made it that much easier for you. And if it wasn't easy enough, then here's Sarah from Career Services with some tips on what you should do at the end of your job interview.
At the end of an interview, remember to check out what happens from there. Will they ring you? When do they hope to make a decision? If you're keen on the job, you can say something like, "Thanks for seeing me. The job sounds great and I would really like to work here." That way the employer knows how you feel. If you do miss out on the job, don't be afraid to ask for feedback on what you could do better in your next interview. And always be polite. You'd never know when another job might come up with the same company.
Well, that's all we could fit in for this week, but don't worry, we are back again next week and we'll have another 3 careers and, of course, more helpful advice. If you want more information about the careers featured this week or more info about how to make that right career choice, just jump on our program website at www.tvnz.co.nz and enter the keywords "just the job." Happy hunting, I'll catch you next week.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.